Now we're ready. Okay. So anyway, good morning and welcome for chapter 26 of Proverbs. We're almost finished, and God is just giving me some ideas about what to teach next. So I'm getting ready for the finish of Proverbs and then begin something else. All right. So today we have chapter 26 of Proverbs. And there's all right. And as usual, I hope you're continually reading, if not Proverbs, somewhere, taking notes and just helping yourself all the way through. Okay, we're continuing in these chapters. Again, he's talking about giving us different warnings and teachings, and it's about just giving us little proverbs, just little stories and things. Okay, 26, here we go. And then he takes us back to 25 and reminds us that these are the Proverbs of Solomon and the men of Hezekiah, the king of Judah, who copied them. And so be wise in our own eyes. Okay. What do we look at? What do your eyes see every day? True wisdom will honor God. But when we get into this worldly thing, we see so many different things. And it used to be, I remember when I was a little girl, you would not see people walking. Hi, Cheryl. Good morning. All right. We would not see people just walking outside in just little tank tops and maybe at the beach, but even there, not a lot, and now we see things and we don't think anything about it. We think, oh, that's just the way it is, or just people with various things, and we accept so much more now because of society. But we need to think about, what are our eyes looking at? What's our focus? And we need to look to wisdom. And where do we get wisdom? From the Bible, okay? True wisdom. Okay, like snow, almost here, ladies. Soon we'll see that snow. But as the snow and the rains and the harvest, we think about all those are necessary to grow things. If we don't have the rain and the snow, then the seeds won't grow. They need that, right? So we need that snow and the rain to honor that seed. And the same thing, it's foolish if we think that we won't see the snows and the rains. In other words, storms in our life will come, but we need those to grow. Okay. Like the birds, the sparrow, it's a small bird, and the swallow. I love the birds. I have my feeders on my patio, and I just sit in my chair and I just watch. My birds will come and they'll sit, they'll eat, they'll sing sometimes, and the different colors, different kinds. I love to watch them. And when you think of God's perfection in everything He made, from the littlest thing, but just like these small birds will flutter, and they don't do anything for a person to want to kill them or to be destroyed. It's not their fault that they're alive. They just want to fly around and eat and be happy, but they don't deserve curse. So if it doesn't grow seeds, then the birds can't eat. Everything is hurt when we interfere with the growth. Okay. If we have a horse, we use a whip for a horse. When we want that horse to move, what do? We give it the whip. And then it says a bridle for the ass. That's to lead it, okay? And then if children will take a spanking, sometimes those things are necessary to lead us, so don't be foolish in our things. We need to remember that even the birds depend on what we do in life. Contradiction, argument. When people will try sometimes to get you to argue, they want a good fight. They said, I like a good fight, but don't answer them. Don't get involved in all the arguing back and forth, well, the right is right, the left is right. Who's right? It doesn't matter, Don't get into the arguments and things back and forth. Because the foolishness will always show up, If we answer that foolish person in his foolishness, don't agree just to get him to stop. Just don't get into all that. Because remember, that foolish person is seeing from his own eyes. Okay. If you send a word to a foolish person, if we say sometimes we cut them off at the foot. Oh, let's just cut them off at the foot. That means we try to stop them so they can't walk, they can't continue in life. And he's just talking a lot about the foolishness that they stop themselves often. They cut themselves off at the foot. They can't do what they want because it's foolishness. And then the mouths of the foolish people. Do we listen to that? Do we watch that? What do we listen to? What do our eyes look at? That's a sling over here. You see the sling? Okay. That's like David's sling. It's comparing that. It says, if you are slinging stones at people all the time, it's foolish. In other words, don't always be talking bad about people. I know just yesterday when I was hearing someone preaching and teaching, they said that our biggest problem is that we try to find something wrong with the other person, and we need to be lifting up other people. I need to lift up each one of you. You need to lift up every person that you're around and that you see. Don't always search for the wrong. What can I tell them? If you're going to be a boss of someone, it's not always, oh, you need to fix this. You did this wrong. No. Find something. And when I was a manager, I used to always, if I brought a person in, maybe they needed some sort of correction, but I always started with finding something they were doing good and honor that first. Look for the good and don't talk about people. If you're going to talk about a person, say something nice or don't say anything. As your mama used to say, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything. Be nice, be nice. Okay. When a fool tries to teach you or lead you, takes you by the hand, it's like that stick that has the jab you all the time. You know, because when that foolish person, don't listen to that foolish person. Okay. God that made all things, he will also reward the fool and reward the sinner. But the gift is not eternal life. The gift is judgment. So God will always judge if they are foolish, if they are wrong, if they do bad. They will be judged in the end, as we saw in Revelation. And here again, a man that doesn't have a vision for his future will often go back to his past. Oh, a light just came on in my room. Okay, but when I said you need vision, the light came on. All right, so anyway, again, our eyes, what do we see? We need a vision for the future. Have an idea of where you're going. Maybe not in 10 years, maybe not 5 or even 1, maybe not even tomorrow, but have a vision for today or right now. What's your vision? What are you looking to? Because it says here, like a dog will go back and eat his vomit. The same way a fool will go back to things from the past and not look to the future. And here again, it says, do you see a man that's wise in his own eyes? In other words, when you look at yourself,
first, use your fingerprints to unlock the device. To see personal.
Everything electric is just happening in the room. So that was my phone. Okay. Do you see a wise person in your eyes? When you look in that mirror, do you see wise? Or do you see, I made mistakes? Do you see foolish? What do you see when you look into the mirror? But the fool has hope. But if you think, oh, I'm wise, I know that. That makes you a fool. If you keep looking at yourself and you think, oh, I'm wise, I know what to do. We need to do it my way because I know I'm wise. That's not the right attitude either. Okay. Here's that lazy person again, the lazy one. The Bible says a lot about being lazy, okay? If he may tell you there's a lion in the street, okay? And so the lion is just being lazy. He's not doing anything, all right? And if there's a door and it has its connections on the door that open it, okay? It's the same way the lazy person is lying in bed and he goes, you're just lazy, okay? And then if you have a whole lot of your food and you're lazy, you will fall asleep trying to eat your food, okay? You're too lazy, you can't do it because you're too lazy and too tired. The lazy person, maybe he's wise when he looks at himself, but he's not really, okay? He's what we call full of himself. You know, he thinks he knows it all. I'm just, so don't be lazy. Uh-oh. Who likes to gossip? You know, some people live only because they want to gossip and they talk about the other person. Well, look at that person. Did you know? Did you know? Did you know? And then people will say, well, just tell me what's wrong so I know how to pray. I don't need to know your problem. I only need to know that you want and need prayer. I don't need to ask you, well, what's wrong? I can pray better. And then you just go to the next person and you say, oh, I was praying for this person. Did you know? So don't gossip, all right? It's like if you get a mad dog by the ear, or people are quarreling and you say, you shouldn't do that. You know, so you get in the middle of things that's not your business. Okay, so stay out of it, not your business. Again, don't get in it and gossip it. And it's just like that person. If you see that dog and you go, you're gonna bite your arm off. You know, don't get involved in other people's quarrels. All right. He says it's like a crazy person shooting death. You're shooting it, and you deceive your neighbors. You deceive other people, and then you say, "Oh, I was only teasing. I was only kidding, teasing." No. You know, if you build a fire, I was thinking this morning that's cool, and I think maybe I'll put a fire in. I have a fireplace, but we need to have wood and burning, right? If it's not burning, it won't give you any heat. But here it says, without wood, the fire goes out. Okay. Same thing with gossip. If you don't say it and don't continue it again and again, it will stop. So don't gossip. And I will make my fire in my fireplace, except mine, all I have to do is plug it in. I just plug it in, my fire happens. So when we finish, I'm going to start my fire today. Okay, quarrel. The quarrelsome person. He said it's like kerosene thrown on the fire. What happens if you throw that on? Go. So we don't need to make it bigger. We need to just not get involved and just leave it, and it will. But if you get involved, then it's like. Now, maybe you say, oh, I don't gossip. I won't tell it. But you're ready to listen. Oh, what did you hear about? Come on, tell me what you hear. Okay. Again, it's like cheap candy. Makes your belly, you know, without gossip, it will quiet down. So don't gossip. Okay. Did you ever hear of smooth talk? What is smooth talk? It's maybe Percy with an evil thought or plan, but they'll smooth it and they'll make you see something good, and they'll hide the, it's like if you have it in it, you see those cracks, try to fix them. But when you have those cracks, you can't truly fix it right. It will always show a little bit of that crack in there. Okay. And if you hate things, sometimes you will say, oh, it's okay, I like it. Mm-hmm. But you don't really. Tell the truth. Don't just gossip about it. Tell the truth. Don't use foolishness. Always think truth. What would Jesus say? How would Jesus tell them? I don't like it. Whatever. Just don't hide it. Okay, when you speak in a kind way, it doesn't always mean that you're nice. Maybe you have your own thoughts inside you. So be careful who you trust, because people, they'll say nice things because they want your attention. They want you to like them. But inside, let your spirit think about that and know, discern. Okay? It's just because they speak nice doesn't mean they're really nice. You need to know their heart and inside. And you need to be the one who speaks right, not just what you, oftentimes we will say what we think, oh, they want me to say this, so I will say this. It's not what I like, but I will say it. That's foolishness. All right. Hatred. Hatred is not good. But often people will hate something and they will cover it. They will hide it. They won't show it. But if you dig a pit, a hole, and we say if you dig a hole, you will fall into it. Because after you lie so many times, eventually it will catch you. So don't hide your true feelings. And we should not hate anyway. If we feel like we're hating something, the only thing God hates is sin. God never hates a person, but he hates the sin. And that's how we need to walk in life. We maybe will hate sin, but we should never hate people, no matter what they do to us. Okay. And that's chapter 26. It was a lot about the gossip and talking and all of that stuff. Okay. Let's see. All right. 27. Different chapter. He continues with the warnings and the teachings and giving us the Proverbs. Okay. The way of wisdom. Now, we just talked about gossip and hatred. Let's see what this one's about. Don't boast about tomorrow, because you don't know what will happen in one day. Okay. Have you ever heard that phrase? Don't boast about tomorrow, because we don't know what tomorrow will bring. We just don't know. December 23rd, I was with my daughter and we were planning Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. But December 24th, I didn't expect a fire and my daughter to die. So we talk about and we make plans for, but we have to be careful not to boast too much about the tomorrow because it can change anytime. Anytime. Let other people praise you, but don't praise yourself. You say, well, I. But now if you say, oh, Karen did this, Karen did that, that's better, but don't let your own lips boast. Now, it doesn't mean that sometimes we tell what we did because it will bring glory to God in some way, but not that I did it. We need to boast that God did it. He used me. God did it. He used me. You see that stone there pushing up, rolling that stone? It's heavy, heavy. It says, but the fool's craziness is like pushing that stone and talking about yourself. You're pushing your own ball up the hill. Let other people push it for you. Wrath is mean. Anger is bad. Who is able to stand without envy? We don't like those things. So we need to learn to not get angry and mean. We need to not be jealous or want what another person has. Okay, we need to think, okay, God has a blessing for me. Like the children in that I heard yesterday about all these children that are in orphanage in other countries. There's so many, they don't have families. They've seen their parents killed, heads chopped off, various things. I mean, it's awful, awful. They could get angry and mad. But you know what? These people, even one pastor, he saw his wife and his daughter and his wife beheaded and their bodies just all chopped up. But he says, I thank God I'm alive and that he has something for me to do. Wow. He didn't get angry. And he didn't get jealous of, well, you have your family still alive. In your country, everything is better. We still need to give honor to God. And it's hard. It's hard. Okay. Also, when we have good friends. Now, we maybe have many, many friends, but how many good friends do you have? Do you have really good friends? Because if they're a good friend, they will tell you when something is wrong. They will watch you, and you need to be able to receive from that good friend. Tell me the truth. And you'll say, tell me the truth, what you think. But then if they say, well, I think you should have done this different, it's like, well, we get defensive. But let that good friend tell you the truth and then receive it and apply it in your life. A truly good friend will tell you good, they will tell you bad, and they will tell you the ugly. All of it. True friends. Okay. Faithful are the hurts of a friend who corrects you. In other words, if a friend will correct you with love, you receive it because they care about you. But it's like the kiss of the enemy. When the enemy tries to correct you or tells you things, it's like a kiss of death. You know, they're trying to destroy you. So you need to know, is this my enemy or is it my friend? Which one? Receive it from your friend, from your enemy. Turn away with it. But when you correct a person, do it in love, because you care about that person from your heart, true love. How we should correct. Here's our honey again. He says, when you are full, you don't want honey. But if you have bitter food, it can taste sweet if you're hungry. In other words, if you're hungry, it doesn't matter if it's sweet or bitter, you're going to eat it. You're going to take it, right? If the person that goes away from home is like that bird, he flies away from his home, but he will receive that counsel from a friend. Here again, it's talking about that friend is like the honey. They are sweet. They give you good things. Maybe you have received some bitter food. You were hungry, and that enemy brought you something bitter, and you tasted it, but you were hungry. But when that friend brings the honey and corrects you, then it's good. So it's sweet like perfume, it says. It makes you feel good. That's how perfume, give you that good feeling. Give you that good feeling. Okay. Now, don't turn away from your friend. Okay. You have your friend, you have your parents' friend, you have your brother's house, all of them. Don't turn away from them. Okay. You need to help them, stay with them, encourage them, and be a good friend to others, to all of them. Okay. It's better to have a neighbor a little bit farther away, or the neighbor who is close to you, than have a brother who is far away. My brother's 2 hours away. My sister, 6 hours away. But my neighbor, Claire, is my good friend. And she's closer and she can help me and encourage me. So sometimes it's better to have that neighbor when you have your family and friends that are far away. Okay. Be wise. Make your heart rejoice. So that you can answer when someone comes at you, teasing you or whatever. This woman is saying here in Proverbs 27, verse 11, it says, be wise, my son and daughter. Make your heart rejoice that I can make an answer to the person who's teasing you. And who is the I? Who is the I? He says, be wise, my son and daughter. Make your heart rejoice that I will make them pay. So let him make them pay. In this situation, it was let the king or let the father make them pay. And for us, that is God. Let God make them answer to him. They will answer to God, not to you. Wise people, if you're wise, you're going to see trouble. Ooh, I see that could be trouble coming because you're wise and you see it. Remember, there's those eyes again. They're seeing. But the foolish, they'll see it coming. They'll say, oh, that looks good. I'll take that. But the fools, they run to the trouble. So don't be a fool. You see evil and you hide from it. If you know the storm is coming, what do? You go inside the house, or if you need to go out, you take your umbrella, you prepare, you're wise. But the fools say, oh, it doesn't matter. I can go out. I can get lightning hit me. Doesn't matter. You know, I'll be okay. Okay. But like that rain and the winds, you need to be ready for it and watch and see it coming. Now, if you ever look, we talked about looking in the mirror, that if you have water, did you ever look in it and you see your face in the water? That's how the heart is shown to God. When God looks at you, he sees your face, but he actually sees your heart. Like in the water, your face reflects. So the face in the heart of man, they see your face reflecting. Okay. There are some people that will, let me use the example of the armor bearer. They carry the person's coat and their bags and things, right? Okay, so often we will maybe take that for a person. We have a person that we like that person. We want to help them. We'll take their coat. We'll take their bag. We'll help them. We'll help them. We'll help them. Okay, but we do it for wrong reasons because they're strangers to us, and often we don't know that person maybe they're doing wrong things and we don't know it, but we just, we admire them. That's like our movie stars. If they come into church, you'll say, oh, I'll help them. I'll carry their bag. I'll take their coat. Or even a famous preacher or singer, you know. But be careful who you are helping. And it says, for the adulterous woman, maybe has that person's pledge. So in other words, you could think of it in various ways, but maybe that person you're helping is really doing wrong things behind, hidden. So you need to know who you're helping, who you're encouraging. Now, if a person blesses your friend, and you say, oh, that's my friend, and you talk about your friend, and you tell other people, oh, they're a good person. Yeah, okay. But if you talk about them early in the morning, it says it's like a curse. What does that mean? What does that mean? If you bless your friend with a loud voice. In other words, if you bother that friend, wake them up early. And just because they're your friend, you think, I can call at 3 in the morning, it's okay. Now, I tell people that I'm okay with people calling me anytime, day or night, especially if they have a problem, need prayer, need some counsel, whatever. I'm okay with that. But then sometimes you will have a friend, they know that you like to sleep till 8, say. But every morning they want to call you at 6 or 7. And they say, oh, I just want to tell you this morning. And they become like a curse to you. The real thing is to just tell them and ask them nicely, please wait till after 8 to call me. You know, sometimes you need to do that. So, you know, we have various things that will disturb us, even from friends and people that are close to us. We are not going to like everything that person does. But if we love them as a friend, it doesn't mean that we curse them just because they woke us up this morning. You all wake me up at 7 o'clock every Saturday morning. But I love y'all. Okay. All right. And as iron, it sharpens iron. Did you ever take a knife and you sharpen it? You use iron to sharpen it, right? That's how we are with our friends. I sharpen you and you sharpen me. We help each other. And whoever keeps that fig tree will eat for it. When it says keeps it, it means takes care of it. If you take care of the tree, then you will be able to get the fruit and eat the fruit. The same thing, it's talking about the word now. If you take care of the fruit, the food that God gives us, and if you wait, the master, he will honor us. In other words, take care of what he gives us, the fruit, the Bible, the word, and he will be honored and he will take care of us. Hell, we all know about hell, right? And destruction. They're full. We know that. We know that there's many people that are going to be going to hell or have already gone to hell. Why? Because their eyes, remember we're talking about the eyes and what we focus on, but people's eyes are never satisfied. And hell is full of people like that they were never satisfied. Their eyes were never satisfied, and they never accepted Jesus. But it also tells us that, like, if you have gold, they put it into the fire. You see in the picture there, they put silver and gold into fire. And it burns off all the bad. But they need to go through that fire to become pure silver and gold. And we are the same. We often go through things on this earth, many things that happen in our lives. And that is, think of it as fire that is making us pure. We need to grow and cleanse from all those fires that come into our life. Just like the silver and gold, we need to be made pure. It's like this little bowl, like in Old Testament times, they would take this bowl and they would put wheat in it, and then they would, and it would take all the bad and all the coating off and leave the good wheat. Okay. And that's the same way as burning in the fire. They would take us, all the bad is removed. Okay. The foolishness will be gone in our lives when God takes us and allows that we can become pure. So he's explaining here to his son that sometimes storms come, sometimes we have fires, sometimes we have pushing, crushing, but at all, we need to remember that God is with us and he will use it to purify us. Okay, he says here, take care to know your flock. In other words, know the people around you. And he wanted them to know his herds. He had all his sheep, various animals. Take care of them. It says, because that was the wealth in the Old Testament. It was not money. It was how much lambs, animals, cows, donkeys, how much you had, the goats. That showed their wealth. So he was taking care of it. And he said how the lambs give them their clothing, the goats, they will give them the milk. And then from that, they can buy other food and they can graze their crops, all of those things. So we need to, he's telling us to take care of our flock. What is your flock? In my situation now, it's me. Maybe you have children. Maybe you have parents. Maybe you have friends that you live with. Maybe you're married, you have a husband. So all of this makes your flock. So we need to take care of them. Okay. You must serve all of the people in your house and any servants, because here they had servant girls that would work and help in their homes. And he said that you don't only take care of your own, but you take care of all those that serve you or help you in any way. Just like in that day, all the wealth came from what they had. So we need to take care of it. Don't be foolish with what we have. Don't be foolish with our children. Don't be foolish with our aunts and uncles, with our parents, grandparents. We need to take care of them. Sometimes people think, oh, they're getting older. When they die, I'll get all these things. So maybe they're wishing, but they don't take care of them. They need to go maybe into a home somewhere. Or say, let them come and live with me. But some will just say, no, I'll just wait for you to die, and, whatever. So that's foolishness. We need to not be foolish with all those that God has put in our care. Take care of them. Like the shepherd, we are like that. Okay. That's 27. What time is it? Okay, so we'll do those 2 chapters today. Next week, we'll do 2 or 3. 31, I'll probably keep for one day by itself because it's all about the woman. So maybe 2 more weeks 1, maybe 2 more weeks of Proverbs, and then we will finish. Okay. So let me stop the recording. Yes. And then we will talk, see if any of you had anything to say about what's happening here today. Well, come on. No, that's not what I want.